Welcome to this week's review at Friends of Urbanos, where we're doing, Kenny, the Cohiba Genios LRE February 09. We're going to do a revisit of the Genios because we haven't done one in about 12 months, and I get really mixed reports on these. Great, crap, nothing really much in the middle.
Oh, no, I've always thought they were pretty fabulous, the ones I've tried.
Really?
The ones I've tried have been sensational.
That's good to have you back. It's been a fair while. You've been travelling around the country doing wine reviews for Spit Bucket, our new wine venture coming up in October 18. Spit Bucket. See your armour at Cole, wouldn't you?
Oh, that old boot, old leather.
Draw?
Pretty easy, but not a problem.
You happy with that?
I'm happy with that. I'm a very easygoing person.
We'll be back to you shortly after we light this. Kenny, initial thoughts?
Pretty much as I remember them. It's a lovely, rich. I mean, you wouldn't think of it as a Cohiba,
no,
except for the fact it's got a Cohiba band. It's a big, rich, almost black cherry, leathery sort of thing.
I sort of wish
I
wish in retrospect they did bring it out as a separate line altogether than the Maduro line of something, or Cuban Maduro, whatever they want to call it, Habano Maduro. Because I think it deserves maybe one or two other cigars in this. Some long skinnies in this would be just gorgeous, wouldn't they?
That'd be terrific.
They have suffered with inconsistency a great deal, the Maduro series, and I think that's just the where they're being rolled, the different places they're being rolled, and the fact that they try to pump out too many, and I think they get short of wrapper occasionally as well. This is nice and rich. It's cocoa laden. It's it's nothing like any Cohiba I've ever had.
No.
But it's enjoyable.
Absolutely. Oh, you happily smoke them. But it is that sort of almost old leather, almost roast meat, campfire stuff a bit in there.
Yeah, good. So how's the champagne?
All right, yes. Now,
what are we drinking?
Moving to Spit Bucket. We're on. Got a couple of champagnes from the Ayala. I thought it only appropriate to have the Ayala collection.
Fine champagne, Ayala champagne.
Did you realise the son of... he was a Colombian... I think he might have been the ambassador.
Drug lord?
Well, but this is back in the 1860s, so...
A bit before then.
Yeah, a bit before that. But set up a house, incredibly popular. It's been recently taken over by Bollinger, so look to... that should actually give it a kick along, I reckon. I'm not sure when it happened. I think it was about 04 they took over, so we're still looking at... this is an 02, the Pearl d'Ayala, Nature. As in sans dosage, no sugar.
I could probably pronounce that one.
You probably could. Give it a shot.
Ayala.
Ayala? Yes. What's interesting is this is actually been made with one of the old-fashioned agraff corks, which is not... because most of the champagne lies on its lees under a normal old crown seal, the normal beer bottle cap. But this is not. This is one of the very old-fashioned corks. You very rarely see them. So I'm quite excited by that. It's... mostly Chardonnay, a little bit of Pinot. It doesn't tell you when it's disgorged, which they are putting on their bottles now, but they have missed it on this one.
Mate, I'm a cigar expert. You're the wine expert, right?
These are lemony, a really lemony sort of, it's clean, fresh, dry style.
I've always loved it. I mean, I think it's a great show. I think this particular bottle's probably not at its best.
Maybe it is a bit flatter than it should be.
I can even teach the old dog a few tricks. We're back with Kenny here, at the end of the first third. We've worked out that both bottles of champagne.
Well, the first one wasn't bad, but the second one we've just opened, which should be in stunner, it's the Pearl d'Ayala. From 1999, disgorged in February of 06.
Flat as a tack.
Flat as a tack, indeed. It's a bit of a shame.
Body. Let's go through the characteristics. Body.
Oh, it's certainly above medium.
Above medium. As a chain, it's a little bit darker.
No, I'm getting more sort of creamy coffee notes now. Slightly sweeter.
Slightly sweeter. One's
Sweet
a bit
chocolate.
darker. Man, one's a bit darker on that. Nice to see a change though.
Yeah, it's evolving as we go through it, and it's certainly a very comfortable sort of cigar, and there's nothing poking out, no edges. It's very nicely balanced. It's just rocking along, slowly evolving as we go. Nice chocolate, creamy coffee.
Kenny, second third of, to me, a very good
Wonderful
Genios.
cigar. I'm absolutely loving this. As I said, it's a while since I've tried one. I loved them in the early days. We were there when they were released, I think, weren't we?
Yeah.
And I got some of those and loved them, and I've still got some locked away, hopefully, unless you've squirreled them out when I wasn't watching. I've never had one I'd considered a dud. I guess you've had good to really good.
Yeah, I've had a couple of dudders.
You would have seen a lot more than I would, though.
Yeah, I've had some dudders. I've had far more good ones than dudders, and I've had some exceptionally good ones, and this is almost bordering on that exceptional.
For me, this is exceptional.
When the Genios are on, and I'm a fan of the Genios in the main, as long as we can pick them. I'm a fan of the Genios in the main, and the Secretos in the main. There's a lot of crap amongst them, and that just comes through overproduction, the way I look at it. But if you can pick the right boxes, both of those are great. I struggle with the Magicos, the Robusto. Oh, I think it's a flavourless thing. See, this is dessert in a cigar, isn't it? And to me, this is a beautiful after dinner with some coffee, whatever it is. It's got that sweetness.
It's building back up now. It's going back more into that sort of roast meat, almost a bit of timber, not burnt, but that rich roast black coffee sort of characters.
Yeah, to me, it's very much like
it went into the sweetness, and now it's sort of come out a bit.
It's like one of those Spanish chocolate desserts that you can get.
We'll argue about flan now for the next 3 hours.
Flan. It's flan.
You might be able to pronounce it, but you got no idea what it is.
Pronounce it.
That's not sure where that came from.
We'll be back in the last third. Can you wrap up the Genios? You got a buzz out of that, you say?
A little bit of a buzz. It's certainly picked up in strength. It's now pretty full-bodied for me in this one.
So talk me through the evolution.
It really
of that cigar.
did sort of started off all those waves of chocolate and that, then that much sweeter sort of coffee creamy character. Then it went back more towards the roasted character. Now it's moved more into big, richer.
It's been a bloody good cigar.
Lovely, lovely cigar. Oh, good 93 for me.
Yeah, I'll go 91 on mine. You couldn't ask too much more. From
91 only. Jesus, you're a hard marker.
No, it gave me plenty, but I just didn't give me brilliance. But highly enjoyable.
Oh,
and look, I know there's a lot of fans of the Genios out there, and there's a lot of guys who aren't fans of the Genios. But if you get a good Genios, it is dessert in a cigar.
They're not cheap cigar. They're not sort of everyday. But now and then, if you can't be unhappy with this. If you're wanting to splash out, or singles,
get a 5-pack of Genios. Doesn't suit anyone because they are a large gauge cigar.
They are the big baseball bat in the mouth sort of stuff. But,
but that's a good point. Champagne and cigars go exceptionally well together. I think they do. I think it's one of the great pairings, champagne and cigars.
I do too. I mean, I just love it. I'm happy to have either by themselves, but together, very happy. I prefer it to red wine.
But you'll drink red wine anyway with cigars?
If I have to.
Or rum. Or gin. Anyway,
pretty much
pretty much everything. Until next week. I love champagne and cigars. I think it's one of the great combinations of all time.
Anyone looking at that is thinking, God, we must be pissheads.
We are, yeah. We are. There's no pastry in flan. Right? There's none.
There are two different types.
No,
We've been through this before.
Flan, and it's got no pastry in it.
Listen, maybe in your little village they couldn't afford pastry or something.
We'll be back in the last third. You moron. You get discounts like no one else gets.
Yeah, the last time I got a discount that came out that afternoon, 20% cheaper again to everyone.
And he complained. Back to you shortly. How's that?
It's very good, but there's just something about it.
Can you get your nose any further in, or?
Well, it's all purpose.
All right. Well,
Are we on or off?
We're off. I like Ayala champagne. I love that one particularly. Pearl.
Yeah, that's the Sans Dosage.
Sans Dosage. That's what supermodels drink.